ESAP, how are you guys? We carry on with our series on ESAP. My name is Ngobani Zondo. Yes, as I've been saying that I've been looking deeper into ESAP. I've been reading Patrick Bond, Guy CZ Mahone, A.S. Mlambo, Dr. Admaya, Maparatsa Dube, and the others that I will not mention. Also, have Vina Dashwood. And uh, I am saying that the problems that we had pre pre ESAP, we still have the same problem of we owe the people of the world money. That was all the reason why we were with ESAP. It's because we owed the money and they wanted their money back. And I argued in the previous video that we do not have to pay back all the money. No government does. All right. The United States government owes now over $31 trillion. Trust me, 10 years from now, it will be more. It will be 40, 50, 60, 70, 100, 150, 200. Because of one fundamental economic law that I've been saying, that for any economies to achieve growth, there must be credit growth. So credit growth is going to be reflected in what the government owes and also in what the private firms owe. So as the government debt grows and the debt of our companies grows, it's not an indication of weakness. It's actually an indication of economic growth. There is no way you can achieve economic growth without credit growth. Because why am I saying so? Economic growth is the increase in productivity, right? So that people can have a nice life. Now, money functions as a lubricator in the system, as a means of to make transactions. So as the transactions increase, the stock of money has to increase to complement the increase of transactions, because some business activities or investment activities cease to happen because there is no money to do it. So, in order for activities that increase GDP to to happen, they need more money. Where does that money come from? It's credit. The bank has to. I'm proposing an expansionary monetary policy. It's not purely expansionary as in our central bank creating more money, but it just means I'm just talking about us bringing more money into our system, into our country. It could be through the central bank printing more money. It could also be us borrowing US dollars from outside the country. My point, I'm saying that Robert Mugabe did a good thing in the 80s by borrowing from the IMF and the World Bank, but the problem is he borrowed from the wrong people. Okay, it's the wrong people that we borrowed from. We're supposed to borrow from the market, but anyway, it doesn't matter. With the suggestion that I'm saying now is that we shouldn't borrow from those guys directly. We should create our own government bond market where the buyers and sellers of our government bond meet, and they've got no interaction, a direct interaction with the government. So that direct interaction with the government is what caused ESAP, because now they had to detect on our government. Robert Mugabe complained about the lack of sovereignty of the Zimbabwean government because of what the IMF was doing. Today we are seeing China's predatory loan system across Africa, the Caribbean, and Asia as well, because you are owing the Chinese government. So for you to pay them back, they come and tell you what to do in your country because you owe them money, so you lose your own sovereignty. So in order for you to protect your sovereignty, you should not owe this money to the people that you know. Owe it to a market system. If they want their money back, they must just go and press the sell button on their computers. There'll be a complementing buyer somewhere else who's going to have, because I like the market because it's got a pricing mechanism. In that way, our government does not have to deal with these people, but however, it does not remove the government responsibility in practicing prudential financial tontons. So what? So now, what the market needs is to look at government position and how it manages its economy. As I say that deficits do not necessarily mean that the government will not be able to pay back its money back. I told you that more creation of credit is what is needed so that we can get out of some structural problems. So, what the market will be looking at rather is not the size of the government deficit, but at what the government is actually doing on the ground to address issues of viability of our industries. So, if our industries are, oh, that word again is running away. Oh, God. If our industries are unsustainable, if our industries are failing, we need to figure out a way, not not a financialized way, no, a practical way of getting things right. Maybe you're selling, maybe you're making the wrong product, okay, or maybe or maybe you've got too much people in the wrong sector. You need to retrain your people. You know, that is a kind of competitiveness that we need to see in Zimbabwe going forward. I do believe that Zimbabwe is a lot of educated people, and now because of the diaspora, we're now exposed to the whole world. We are therefore able to tap from all the learnings that we've get from other countries and begin to do that, industrialize in Zimbabwe. And by the way, industrialization does not speak only of making goods; it's also services and other things that nobody talks about, or other markets that nobody is aware of. For example, this market of campaigning through YouTube. Who knew about that? That you can actually campaign through YouTube this way. So it's also a venture. This is actually a startup. I am a political startup for you to not know. This Ngobani Zondo. It's a political startup which also is needing investments and can generate profitability over a long period of time. To understand? So I'm saying that businesses come from different angles. It's not always making soaps and coffee and selling to other countries. There's many other things that we can do that I don't even know about. Talking about Web3, fourth industrial revolution, all of those things. We can do it in our country as long as we've got a stable government that is rules based. And the rules based is not for Washington. Don't get it wrong. The rules based is for us. Okay. It's us who need the rules, all right, that we need to follow and that we need to enforce, you know, force each other to do the right thing, punish each other if we do the wrong thing, you know. So that is able to help us to house our industries that can grow going forward. So I'm going to read again Dr. Admire Maparaza Dube's article between Zim dollar rock and the US dollar hard place, analyzing Professor Mthweni Ncube's 29 May 2023 currency stabilization measures. So I've not finished reading this thing. So it talks about measures. So I want to see what measures Dr. Honorable Professor Mthweni Ncube is going to install. Because it's saying between a Zim dollar rock, okay, and the US dollar hard place. The hard place about the US dollar that we lose our sovereignty. For me, I prefer that with ZANU PF in power, I'd prefer the US dollar. But the US dollar will be good for me and you, but bad for the looters because they cannot loot, they cannot print money if the US dollar is our currency. So it's only a hard place for me. It's a hard place for them. There's the Zim dollar. I wouldn't prefer a Zim dollar under an Emerson Mnangagwa regime because they're able to print from the Reserve Bank and they print the wrong way. By the way, I think the next video I must talk about printing money. There's good printing and bad printing. What we are going through in Zimbabwe right now is bad printing. Printing which is not accompanied by productivity. We need printing that is accompanied by investment in productivity. not printing that just increases money supply but does not do anything much to the productivity. That misbalance, that increase in money supply and the same amount of productivity causes inflation. And the reason why there's hyperinflation in Zimbabwe is because our productivity in Zimbabwe keeps on going down, yet the stock of money in the economy keeps on being printed by John Makuja. So that's why, so the effect is felt by the ordinary citizen. So that is a silent taxation that is taxed across everybody else. But the first guys who benefit are the guys who run the government, or who have got close proximity to those that are in power. So I do not favor a Zim dollar regime at the moment, but obviously they, them Mtole Mncube and his friends, they would favor a Zim dollar thing, because that's how they keep on. Uh, that's why they carry on with their capital accumulation. But anyway, let's meet on the next video. My name is Ngobani Zondo, and I am running to become the next leader of Zimbabwe. It's a political campaign as well. I'm not just wasting my time here on YouTube. All is the Lord. Sale kahle bazali.